Nowadays, our environment needs healing, and we humans are responsible for it. It is not asking us to preserve, but we need to conserve it for us and the future generations. And so, here in the Philippines, as the response of the state to this issue, they developed a law that would enlighten the minds of Filipinos to take good care of our environment through education. Good day, everyone. We are the Team MATAPAT, and we are here to share our insights regarding Republic Act number 9512, an act to promote environmental awareness through environmental education and for other purposes. I am Blu Ann Margaret Dantic.
I'm CNB Lastimosa.
I'm Emman Deza.
I'm Kit Brandon Yuada.
I'm Yzabelle of Castillo.
And I'm Crystal Anrose and Liwanag. And to start the discussion, here is Seann Lastimosa for Section 1 and 2.
Section 1 of the Republic Act 9512 contains the title of the law, and it is hereby declared to be the Environmental Awareness and Education Act of 2008 for this legislation. It is clear from the title that it is an act aimed at raising environmental consciousness through environmental education and other means. It is because our Mother Nature must be protected and preserved in order to meet humanity's requirements. The environment provides us with innumerable benefits for which we will never be able to repay over the course of our lives. They are connected to the forest, trees, animals, water, and air. So, for a clear example of the interconnectedness of every aspect of nature, so the air is filtered by the forest and trees, which absorb hazardous. Then plants filter water, reduces flood risks, and maintain natural equilibrium among the other things. Furthermore, the environment keeps a close eye on the environment and how it works, and it regulates the important processes that are necessary for the ecosystem survival. It also helps to preserve the culture and quality of life on the planet. And through environmental education, which encourages every mind to think critically and creatively, while also encouraging to become more involved in communities. It teaches about the importance of the environment and equips them with the tools they need to live eco-friendly and sustainable lifestyles, which could help in environmental awareness. Moving on to the Section 2 of the Environmental Act of 2008 is its declaration of policy. In accordance with the state's policy of protecting and advancing people's rights to balanced and healthy ecology in accordance with nature's rhythms and harmony, and in recognition of the critical role of youth in nation building and the role of education in fostering patriotism and nationalism, accelerating social progress, and promoting total human liberation and development, the state also shall promote national awareness on the role of natural resources in eco-development. This means that the role of the state is to encourage the citizen to protect the environment, the natural resources that is a high chunk of contributory factor of eco-development that is highly needed of the country. It is in equal importance in the state's role in nationalism, human liberty, education, and youth. For a piece of new information, natural resources, both renewable and non-renewable, as well as ecosystem services, constitute part of a country's true riches. But they are raw materials from which other forms of capital are created. They help with the tax revenue, income, and poverty alleviation. Natural resources related industries generate jobs and are frequently the source of income in disadvantaged regions. Therefore, governments should be critical in implementing policies that ensure the resources contribute to long term economic development rather than just short-term revenue regeneration.
Moving on with Section 3 of the Republic Act of 9512. It contains the title of the law and it is hereby declared to be the scope of environmental education. Under its scope are the different departments that are responsible for the management and spread of environmental education. The Department of Education, the Commission on Higher Education, the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, in coordination with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, the Department of Science and Technology, and other relevant agencies. It shall integrate environmental education in its school curricula at all levels, whether public or private, including in barangay daycare, preschool, non-formal, technical vocational, professional level, indigenous learning, and out-of-school youth courses or programs. This section implemented that environmental education shall encompasses environmental concepts and principles. It includes environmental laws, the state of the international and local environmental best practices, the threats of environmental degradation, and its impact on human well-being, the responsibility of the citizens to the environment, and the value of conservation, protection, and rehabilitation of natural resources and the environment in the context of sustainable development. It shall also cover both theoretical and practical modules comprising activities. It includes tree planting, waste minimization, segregation, recycling and composting, freshwater and marine conservation, forest management and conservation, relevant livelihood opportunities and economic benefits, and other such programs and undertakings to aid the implement of the different environmental protection law. To conclude, this section plays an important role for students to know the scope, departments, and their responsibility to the environment. It will help them to act, care, and preserve the beauty of our environment.
Section 4. This means the under Republic Act No. 9512. The SKID and TESDA must include environmental education and awareness programs and activities in National Service Training Program as part of Civic Welfare Training Service component required for all baccalaureate degrees, courses, and vocational courses with a curriculum of at least 2 years. This will help in disseminating the education and awareness of program and activities. Civic Welfare Training Service student as part of NSTP curriculum are required to conduct a community service which is helpful in preserving the environment as they gain knowledge about the state of our environment and the role of them as a youth in maintaining. The NSTP is responsible for instilling patriotism, moral virtues, respect for civilian rights. The Constitution, among other things, citizenship education will be emphasized in all three program components. In consultation with the Department of National Defense, the Philippine Association of State Universities and College, the Coordinating Council of Private Educational Associations of the Philippines, and other concerned government agency, the Commission of Higher Education, and the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority may design and implement such other measures.
Moving to the Section 5, on December 12, 2008, under the Republic Act Number 9512, Section 5, the Declaration of Environmental Awareness Month was signed. It states that November shall be known as the Environmental Awareness Month throughout the Philippines. This act aims to promote environmental awareness through environmental education and is highlighted on the month of November. In this month, promotion of the responsibility of a citizen to the environment and the value of conservation, protection, and rehabilitation of natural resources and the environment could be put on its peak. Furthermore, it focuses on the environmental concepts and principles, environmental laws, and the state of the international and local environment. It is necessary to have this kind of awareness month because as the day goes by, the environmental pollution worsens. So, it is just right to let the aspiring youth be a responsible guardian of the environment. While, on the other hand, Section 6 is about the interagency and multi-sectoral efforts of the agencies and governmental units in the Philippines. The DepEd, CHED, TESDA, DENR, DOST, DSWD, and other barangay units are the ones who are responsible for fulfilling the implementation of public education and awareness program on environmental protection and conservation through collaborative interagency and multi-sectoral effort at all levels. Their primary responsibility is to create a program that will ensure that students will only receive accurate and science-based information regarding environmental issues in the Philippines.
In the Section 7 of Republic Act Number 9512 entitled Capacity Building, it states there that DepEd, CHED, TESDA, in coordination with DENR and other relevant agencies, shall undertake capacity building programs nationwide such as training, seminars, workshops on environmental education, development and production of environmental education materials, and teacher education courses and related livelihood programs. With this being said, with the help of this law, we will be able to develop and strengthen the skills, abilities, and resources that we need to survive and adapt in this fast-changing world, and be aware of our environment, which is really the point and purpose of this act. These are the programs that are being generated by the DepEd Department of Education, SHED Commission on Higher Education, TESDA Technical Education and Skill Development Authority, DENR Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and other agencies to fulfill this act and to educate people to be aware of and to be able to protect our environment are the implementation of taking NSTP subject Solid Waste Management Program, Clean Air Program, Mother Earth Foundation, Energy Efficiency, and Global Climate Change, and many more programs, trainings, and seminars to help people to be aware of environmental needs and issues that needed to be protected and cared for. This section also includes the transformation and growth of our performance, knowledge, attitude, and mindset that is sustained and generated over time that will also enhance our environmental literacy. Next is Section 8 of National Environmental Awareness and Education Act of 2008, entitled Separability Clause. In this section, it was said that if any part, section, or provision of this act to be held invalid or unconstitutional, the other provision shall not be affected thereby. Meaning, comes from its own title, separability clause, which means capable of separation and dissociated and separable parts, and clause means separated part of legal document, which will fall to its meaning and purpose that if any of these sections is void and invalidated or has provision, it will not affect the other sections that is not included and will not affect the whole law. This act will be not affected and only the section that is not valid or changed. Example, if Republic Act 9512, Section 7 is invalid, the Act will be not affected by it. Even if Section 7 has been changed or removed in the Act, it will not mean that the other sections and the whole Act should be removed and changed also, because the section of an act is separate from and not the same as the Republic Act.
Next is the Section 9 of this Republic Act number 9512. According to this act, it is about the repealing clause where all other acts, laws, executive orders, presidential insurances, rules, and regulations, or any part thereof which are inconsistent with this act are hereby repealed or modified accordingly, which elucidates that it cannot be repealed, revoked, or annulled by other law due to the consistency made during the process of making this act. And lastly, the 10th section of the Republic Act number 9512 contains the effectivity of this act where it shall take effect 15 days after its publication in the official gazette or in at least 2 newspapers of general circulation. After being published, this law must be imposed and observed in the whole state. In conclusion, through this discussion, it made us understand our responsibilities to Mother Nature in order to protect our living planet from destruction and to pass on a green earth to future generations for the sake of our planet's sustainability.
Save the Mother Earth.
Be educated.
Be aware.
Be responsible.
Stop the abuse.
If we did all of those things now, we could let the Earth exist in a farther future.
Our individual efforts may appear insignificant, but if thousands of young people band together to safeguard the environment, our efforts will one day amount to a significant step in protecting our motherland Earth from destruction. Let me end this discussion with a quote. Environment is no one's property to destroy. It's everyone's responsibility to protect. That would be all. Thank you.